All right, a SEO for beginners, how to rank on Google in 2022 a little bit faster as a SEO beginner. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I noticed that within YouTube there is a question section now within the comment platform right inside of YouTube Studio. So what I will do is go ahead and look for as many questions as possible right from the actual questions that you have asked. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I will go through here and answer these questions that you have sent. So this one's from Bicon Kumar, and the answer is local Falcon. All right. In that video, what I was showing was a grid tool. So a grid tool is for Google My Business or Google Maps. This tool will allow you to go ahead and do positioning, but it utilizes the API. We tested this inside of our inside the SEO Mastermind, and what we found out was that all of these tools are wildly. It's just giving you a brief glimpse of the current position. It'll give you a better idea than you going and searching, but all of them are wildly different results. So it's not like it's going to be exact. All right, is what I'm getting at. So, asking about sound was low during recording. They took the time to ask. I'll take the time to answer. How is it done? SEO for beginners, press release distribution. Well, during that video, what I was showcasing inside of that video was how you distribute press releases and how I was going out. I have extensive videos. I think I made 2 or 3 videos on how you can curate press releases. Generally, what we'll like to do is you'll put in quotation marks known press release source providers. So let's just say maybe Globe Newswire, or perhaps Yahoo, or perhaps Digital Journal, or MarketWatch. And what you'll look for is your primary keyword and then put in quotes the name of the platform that you're looking for. This can give you a lot of ideas on how you should structure and lay out your press releases. All right, so take a look at that. So take a look at platforms that post PR to get ideas. That's pretty much about it, but that'll take care of that. Do you have a direct contact phone number? You can text 570-810-1080. That way I can answer it when I want. I probably won't answer the phone right away. No. If I create, so here's another question from Danny. Oh, Danny, I appreciate that question, brother. If I create an OpenAI DaVinci, okay, do I also need to train the data set? Someone was hawking the settings up of OpenAI. He wasn't specific in if it was DaVinci, but he was also Hawkins alongside it, the training of the data set to make it intelligent. Is this a ripoff? So, DaVinci is a model, okay? So DaVinci is actually a model. DaVinci, that is a model. And yes, you can feed the model a kind of a training data. Yep, training data to fit your niche. So the model's already been trained. It's the DaVinci model. It's OpenAI. Like it's already crawled millions and millions and millions of words. The model has already been created. You can fine tune the model. Is probably what, I don't know who it was. I have no idea. But if you hang out, probably by the end of today, she should be done. I have a gentleman in my mastermind. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but his first name's Clement. So Clement and I teamed up to make a training that walks through not only the creation, okay, of models, but you can also fine tune them. You can train them. He goes over the different variations. Very, very good. He's the one that taught me. He taught me everything I knew about using the models. So that's why I was like, man, you're great. He spent the time. He spent weeks figuring out how it works. So I had him make me a personal training that we're going to share on the mastermind. All right. So it was made for me, but I will share it with other people too. So in any case, that's about that. How do I check my profile info to find out? And this comes from RV weekends. RV weekends, I appreciate the question, and it goes a little like this. How do I check my profile to find out what I selected for face-to-face questions? I think it may be my issue. I can edit my profile, but I can't see any face-to-face editing options. Okay, so there is a support. There is support to contact GMB. Okay, so it's on the left-hand side. When you're inside your Google business profile, on the left-hand side, there is a place that you can contact Google My Business during their working hours, which is GMT time, right? Like some type of mountain time. However, you may want to go ahead and submit the two types of forms. If it's in reference to this particular video here, you will want to submit the two types of forms. One form that they send you is going to be to your email when you get suspended or canceled. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to send you a notification that's going to say, hey, you've been suspended. Do you want to sign up for a reinstatement? And you're going to say, yes. So you want to do that as the owner. But then on the same if you do a search in quotation marks for reinstatement Google My Business, what you then will do as a representative is go ahead and fill out the other form. This way, they got two messages, one from the owner, one from a representative, trying to reinstate the Google My Business. Now, once you say, all right, once you've done that, you go back into the readdressal form. And what they will say is, have you submitted a reinstatement form? And you're going to say, yes. Then you'll be able to actually talk to somebody. Okay, so support to contact GMB inside your GBP. All right, but find the reinstatement form and submit it. Okay. When you try to fill it out 2 times, you will then be directed to a live appointment during weekdays. They make it hard. They make it hard. It's not going to be easy. I mean, it's Google. You know how many people would be torturing them? They'd have to hire a full staff just to deal with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they probably get tens of thousands of requests. So they make it difficult. They want you to go through the hoops, go through the process. It's just business. All right. Moving on. Ann Betstein, okay, put this message, and let me make note to this. All right. When a video goes up, all right, for 3 days after a video goes up, I receive all of the notifications. That's why when you first message on a new video, I answer every single question that there is. But after that initial few days, the questions, I don't get notified of them. So I have to literally go in and answer questions. That's why there's questions from forever ago on videos that I did months ago. You know what I mean? Like weeks or months ago. Because I don't see them. There's a little, if you take a look, there's, oh, you can't see it here, but there's a bell. And the bell will say, hey, you got a message. And I'll say, cool. And I'll answer the question. So just so you know. All right. If you have questions about the video and you see the video, drop them on in the first 3 days and I'll 100 million trillion% answer them. I make time every day to answer the questions that are on the newest video. It's part of my day. I wake up and I see the video before. Hey, what questions who can I help? What can I do? Right? It's part of my day. It's a routine. All right. So, hey, Chris, Ann asks, I added business areas, but Google detected them. Do you know why? They are cities close by my shop or even in the same city with different zip codes. Thank you for your help. How do you decide service area? So add them again. You can put in add them again. Okay. Also, don't use more than, I think it's 20 you can add up to. They might have deleted them because you went over the amount. But just add them again. But might I just give you a fair, let me just give you a piece of information here. You know, something that I have found is if you go and look at maps of service area businesses, they're like polygons, right? They're, I think, is that what they're called? A polygon? Anyway, you know how they make the red outline? And how they make that outline is they don't use 4 points, they use 6 points. But what they'll do is they'll go north, east, south, west around the business. But what you'll notice is they'll have 2 norths. It's something to do with, I don't know. I'm not sure why. I can only make assumptions. But they generally will make 6 points. So I highly recommend do what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Google, if that's how they're representing data, then just follow suit. It's just like how they lay out a website. Like if Google Business Profile gives us a free website, and they're going to give us a layout that has outbound links to map directions, outbound links to get a quote. You know, they show the entire hours of operation, right? They're giving us the blueprint. Just follow suit, you know? So that's my recommendation. Add them again. Also, don't use more than 20. Don't use more than 6 points to outline your SAB. All right, service area business, for anybody that doesn't know. But that's a good question. And I hate when, like, Google's, I don't want to say they're not your friend, right? But, you know, they're you just keep adding them. Keep working for it. It can be very difficult, trust me. All right, so SJD, beautiful dog. I think that's called a, is that a husky? I don't know. That's a beautiful dog too, SJD, by the way. But any case, Google My Business is no longer working as Google has scrapped it. Please, can you do a video without using Google My Business? Well, I don't know if they scrapped it. But this video that you wrote this question on has to do with finding the Google Business Profile ID. So in order to find the Google Business Profile ID, also known as the customer ID, okay? This is very, very easy, all right? The easiest way to do it is by utilizing, there's tons of free tool checkers out there. If you simply just go out to the web and put in free tool find Google My Business ID, okay, I can assure you, you will find dozens of checkers. But if I could give you one more slight recommendation, there's quite a few tools out there, okay? They're a Chrome extension. So their Chrome extension that I like to use is called Plepper. And let me see here. It might be on my other one. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, it might be on the other one. Click over, GeoModifier, Moz, Selenium, SEO Pro. It might be on my other profile, but I use primarily Plepper. Yep. So Plepper's a great tool. It's free. I also think there's a gentleman out there. His name's Mateo. Him and I are friends, and he runs a tool. I think it's called Google My Business GMB Crush, I think. I think that'll pull it out too. I don't know. Don't quote me on these things, okay? But that guy's, he's cool. So, you know, maybe show him some love. I don't know, but finding these IDs is so easy. And if you're looking for the place ID, Google has a free API that you can utilize. So if you just type in place ID finder, that'll be your find place ID. If you're looking for your CID, then there's a lot of free tools that you could find your CID. That's your customer identification number, okay? And then if you're looking for your machine readable entity ID, again, there's Chrome extensions that allow you to do it. I also have a video on my channel that will show you the manual way, but why do it the hard way? I used to do it the hard way, but then people started making tools, right? So I know how to do it the hard way, but I don't anymore. Why should I? There's tons of tools out there. So the best thing to do is get Plepper or do a search online to find the IDs with a free tool. Okay, so for example, how the heck do you spell example? E-X-A-M. So example, example, for example. For example, search free SEO tool to find blank. Fill in the blank. All right, brother. Hopefully that helps you out. Greetings from Ricardo. Greetings to you, my friend. Great to see you from Peru. Wow. All the way from Peru. Awesome to see you. Says, a question. Which of all of these softwares do you recommend for tier 1? None. These tools are used for tier 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. You know, get as crazy as you would like, but not on tier 1. All right, my friend. Best wishes to you. Hopefully that helps you out. All right, Lance says, hey, Chris, great overview. How would you go about hiring someone to find a domain for you since getting the tools is quite expensive? ESP. If this is for a one-off, I already have a niche and a budget. I'm talking to a few people on Upwork, but not sure what to ask. How to find powerful expired domains cheap. Okay, so if tool cost is the problem, all right? And trust me, I get it. So my best recommendation is, like, I like using Domcop. I like using Spamzilla. I also like to use Scrapebox. They have an add-on extension, but all of these tools cost money, like you said, right? That can be a problem. It's like, hey, man, why should I give this dude $50 when I could go buy 3 pizzas? You know what I mean? I'd rather eat 3 pizzas. Trust me, I'm with you, man. So one of the ways that I have found, all right, so as time progresses, and as you make tools, I made tools, you know, like I've sold tons of things. So as time progresses, you'll want to start giving people their rightful cut. You know what I'm saying? However, as you're crawling, as you're getting up there, right? What I would recommend is a group buy. Okay, so there's a lot of group buys, and the ones that I really like, all right, and as you can see, I don't use them pretty much anymore, but when I did, or if I did, I would use this one. So it's called Flickover. Okay, so Flickover will give you those tool sets that you need in order to start getting, you know, get what you need. All right, brother. So that's what I would do. Use a group buy. Okay, so you're gonna need tools. That's like an auto mechanic without an air wrench, you know? That's like me outside trying to change my brakes. I'm like, oh man, I had to go and get tools. It's a big pain. I had to call my buddy up like, hey dude, you know, can you do this for me? Because the discs are easy, but the spring ones, those are tricky. So yeah, I was having a little bit of trouble. But anyway, you get the point. Jonathan has a question here. Sometimes typing an area doesn't show a red box, but typing in zip codes does. Should we use the zip code if the red box doesn't show? So, yes. I would not want to force any information into Google. We need Google to already understand. So in this case, use what is recognized. Probably spelled that wrong. Recognized. All right, so use what's recognized. So this is deciding the service area. He's not getting a red box to pop, and that's fully understandable, but as long as there's an actual position on the map, you need to go around the edges in order to lay out a service area. So again, northeast, southwest, try to pick 6 pinpoints or 6 points in a northeast, southwest that surround the primary area of where your business actually is. Google knows where it is. You signed up for it. You have an address, but just because you're signing it or you made a service area business doesn't mean that you didn't give them an address, right? You did. So Google knows where you are. They're still going to give you the same proximity. So best wishes on that. Go northeast, southwest around your business. Try to use 6 points around the business. Probably going to work out best for you. Okay. Now you can try to stretch it, but I guarantee you At most, at least starting out, you're probably going to see 5 to 10 miles. At most. Okay? Until time progresses, depending on category, depending on competition. So, like, don't try to be too brazen. Google, you know, they deal with us every day. You know what I mean? So, go around your business about, you know, go around in a 6 to 10 mile radius. Do a 6-point polygon around the business, and you'll be rewarded. All right? So just stick to the script. You will do well. All right? So Jonathan, hopefully it helps you out. Khalid says, hello, how to audit Google Maps backlinks of a competitor? You don't, other than the free site. You can check links, but they will seem quite distorted. Links, for the most part, are not a big driver for GMB. They help, but not a main focus, as opposed to proximity and age or comp in the area. You know, when it comes down to ranking, Khalid, you know, you could send all the backlinks you want. And I'm not saying that there's no use there. There is a use for backlinks going to the Google Business Profile. I tested every place you could send a link. We tested it, right? So there are places that you can send links that are going to be relatively helpful, but there's still another step. The proximity of a link being clicked will increase the power of a link. The easiest, fastest way to get a ranking increase when building backlinks to a Google Business Profile is to utilize those links to drive traffic to the asset, irrelevant of where the traffic comes from. Okay, so most notably, if you're going to set up a sequence, right? Like, let's just say, for instance, I'm not saying that this works, but, or maybe it does, I don't know. But if you were going to set up, say, a Selenium sequence or a Puppeteer sequence, and you were going to originate a search, say, from a review sequence on your website, and then that was the link to a internal review within your Google Business Profile, right? So a contributor review. So maybe you're sending traffic, creating a backlink from your website over to the contributor profile within your Google Business Profile. Now, that might be helpful, but just setting up backlinks, you might get a slight edge temporarily, but I think that there needs to be a reason for the link. Okay, so make it massively clear to Google that this isn't just useless. Okay, so if you want it to be valued, send traffic through it. All right, especially to reviews, posts, products. Okay, best wishes to you. All right, Deanon Powez. Google is not crawling and indexing my website. I've requested multiple times in Google Search Console. What should I do? Okay, so fix content, interlink, make a HTML sitemap, and build links. Now I'm gonna cut this answer short because that is what to do. But let's divulge a little bit more into this. So Deanon is having a problem with indexation. Now, generally, when say a client comes to me, they're having trouble indexing a page, okay? Usually it's because they've created a lot of very similar content that's competing with itself within a SERP. So they're trying to utilize these new strategies of topical clustering, and they're getting insane, right? So that could be one issue, is you're not pointing enough internal links from pages that have less value, okay, or authority to the pages that you really want to rank that could drive business for your company or for your clients or whatever you're doing, right? So internal linking, not properly siloing your content. Maybe there's light content, okay? Maybe it's just junk. Maybe it's spun or AI, right? I'm assuming that that's not the issue. It's probably insufficient siloing or topical clustering. There's not enough internal links pointing to the pages that you want. You're not readily updating or changing the pages. You've submitted the XML sitemap, but there's no other sitemap. You haven't built external links in to show value or importance to pages or topical silos, right? So there could be a number of issues, but it mostly will start with internal linking and the actual content that's on the page, okay? So that's where I would start. That's what I would do. increase the amount of internal links, build 1 or 2 external links into each of the pages, build internal links up to the pages that you want to rank, have your XML sitemap, make sure that you keep that updated. On top of that, don't do taxonomies and categories and all these other like 9 million XML sitemaps all in one page at least. Submit them separately. And create an HTML sitemap. Yep. Usually that'll help you out. Okay, so RD says, what do you do if you mainly just have one service in the beginning? I currently get around 20 blogs related to the main service. City-based, let's say. What should the link to these blog pages look like? I really like your energy and content. Just found your channel and subbed right away. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, RD. Here, let's grab this video. Oh, and I'll answer your questions too. If you have any questions, throw them in. Let me grab this video quick so I can tell people where I answered these questions at. You like that picture? What's the problem here? Oh, I'm on my channel? This doesn't look right, though. This can't be my channel. Okay. So here we go. We're live. Let's open this link. Let's grab this. Copy. Ah! Here, let's get rid of this. Okay. Thank you, RD. Answered here. Okay. But I'll give you a quick answer. So one service. Okay. Let's talk about this. This is a good one. Okay. Let me explain a little bit better. It's hard for me to explain without visual. I'm a visual person, right? I think what 80% of people are. So it's a lot easier for me to explain with a diagram, right? Or an image. All right. Okay, so let's do this. Let's slow this mouse down a little bit. I have a thing coming so I can write, but because I notice I do this a lot, and I'm like, dude, those drawings are so bad. So we're going to take care of that coming up here soon. So we have to enhance this. Okay. So you have a business, all right, or a homepage. So let's call this home, all right? Now, on your home, you have your primary service page. So this is service. But you said you only had one service. But you probably target multiple areas. So you have your service. But you also do other locations, right? So it's still the same service, but you have multiple locations. Okay, perfect. Great. So and just for a reference, this is going to be service location. Okay, so service location 1, 2, okay, 3, and service area number 4. Okay, so this is service location, and then you get the point, service location. All right, so you have a primary homepage, you have your service location, and then you said you had 20 or 50 blogs. All right, so each of these service locations, we're going to do one, will have a blog. All right. Now, each service location, even though it's only one type of service, let's say that the service is, I don't know, let's say that you're a Chevy dealer. Okay, so you're a Chevy dealer. Okay, so you're a Chevy dealer. And then on the Chevy dealer page, you list out all of your service locations, right? On that page. Now, if we need to build this out a little bit more, this is going to be website.com. Okay, so this is website.com. And then this is / Chevy dealer. Okay, so that's this page. On the Chevy dealer page, you're going to list out all of your service locations, right? But when I click on a service location, remember this is a service location, when I click on that service location page, we do not stray from this unless you get over, say, 100 pages on the site. And you might want to, you know, tone it down. Like if you have 100 different locations, you know, it might get a little crazy. But for the most part, most local businesses that I've dealt with, and I've probably talked to 400 or 500, like seriously, where we were helping with strategy. If we come inside of here, when I go here, it's going to be website.com / let's say, Chevy. How do you spell Chevy? Chevy Dealer Los Angeles. Okay. Oh, Angeles, I think. Los Angeles. All right. So when I click on one of these service location pages, so I'm on the website.com, that's this. This is the main service page, okay? And I'm going to get to your question. I just want to lay this out. So I have Chevy Dealer, that's this page. On the Chevy Dealer page, you have to note, this is what it looks like. This is the Chevy Dealer page. And here are all of these pages. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4. Look at. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 is right here. When I click on one of those links, it takes me to website.com / Chevy Dealer Los Angeles. That's this page. Okay, so that's this. Okay, so I clicked on that listing and it took me to this page, and this is what the structure looks like. Okay, so just so we're all clear here. Now you're saying, hey, I have one service. I service a lot of areas, but I have these blogs. How do I interlink them? Right? What should I do? Now, we know by the guidelines that Google wants us to have a news or an update or a blog, right? So you're probably, if you're a Chevy dealer, you need to look for a keyword, right? It could be like dealer tips, or it could be anything that's like something that's updating, okay? You don't want to just name it blog because no one's looking for your website / blog. Like nobody cares, right? So you have to aim, if you're going to create a lot of content, the top level page, the blog page, needs to be around a keyword that might generate some traffic for you and your business, right? Right. So you're going to set up your blog just like this. Now, like you said, you had 50. So you have your blog page, and let's say, again, we'll stick with the same topic. Let's say it was website.com / Chevy car tips. Okay, so you have your Chevy car tips page, and there it is, Chevy car tips. Now on that page, just like you did here, you're going to list out all of your articles that are surrounding Chevy and tips. So now I have a highly topically relevant page that's all about Chevy and tips, because you'll put little blurbs, right? Just like Backlinko. If you have a question of what I mean by laying out a top level page, go look at Backlinko's blog. This is exactly what he does. A lot of the bigger, it's highly effective, If you go look at a big authority affiliate site, what they'll do is they'll have a top 10 post, and then their supporting content is they'll start making posts, like say they have top 10 blenders, or top 20 blenders, or the 50 most popular blenders of 2022. Or if it's a big site and they're doing a lot of content, they'll do top 10 blenders of March 2022. And then they'll name out each of the brands. And then they'll make individual pages for each of the types, right? And what that is that supporting content that's hyper specific to the product that they're actually promoting. Then they'll build those supporting pieces of content out and they'll link them over. So it's the same for you for a local business. It's literally the same exact thing. So if I have my Chevy car tips page, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to create 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, as much as you want. Create as much as you want with your most relevant and most recent posts up towards the top, okay, of the page, the top level category page. And what you're going to do on that page is, if this right here, okay, here, let's go back to this. If this page right here, this SL page, this is service location page 1, is called website.com / Chevy Dealer Los Angeles. on your blog, you're probably, or your news article page, or your Chevy car tips page, you're going to talk about everything you can, probably 3 to 5 articles that are all about Chevys, Chevy tips, Chevy dealers, Chevy whatever you want, but it's hyper specific around Los Angeles. Then within those articles, when you write your article, you can then internally link utilizing exact match anchor text internally from the relevant blog post to the relevant service location page. Okay, so you can create this page here. It would be Chevy, how about 12 Chevy tips Los Angeles residents need to know. Because you don't give 2 flying bananas if that page ranks. If it does, great, and I'm sure it will rank for some keywords. But you don't want it to rank for Chevy Los Angeles, but you need it to be hyper specific to Chevy sales in Los Angeles, right? So what you do is you'll make, 12 Chevy tips for Los Angeles, 12 Chevy tips Los Angeles residents need to know. And then inside of that blog article, right, in this article, and remember, you're going to create 3 to 5 of these per service location. In that article, you're going to be able to say Los Angeles Chevy and Chevy Los Angeles and Chevy dealer Los Angeles. You're going to be able to utilize those words numerous times. And what you want to do is you want to not only link to this page, not only do you want to link back to your service location page 2 to 3 times, but you also want to link to other Los Angeles and Chevy pages that you create that are in that little mini silo. Okay? Because if I have a primary service page that I want to rank, service location 1, remember, it's Chevy dealer Los Angeles. I need to create 2 to 3 to 5, as many as you want, it's up to you, supporting pieces of content, this here, that are all going to tie to the other 3 to 5 articles that are all about Chevys in Los Angeles, and over to the primary page that we're trying to rank. Now, why? Why are we doing this? Because the amount of internal links pointing from the blog to the service page is going to be massively disproportionate. Why do I want to do that? Because I want to be able to say to Google, when they do a scan of my website, they need to know what are the most important pages. Well, how you say this to a robot is how you structure your site. So of course the homepage is most important. The next most important pages are my service area pages, right? My service location pages, and everything else that's farther in the structure is less important. So structure is first. Next, how I tell Google or a robot how a page is important is by the amount of internal links pointing from this page to this page. So if I'm looking at a site, the homepage has the most internal links. Gee, I wonder why the homepage always ranks. Then what's next is going to be, hey, you have to start pushing internal links to the page. But don't push non-specific or non-relevant pages because it'll mess it all up. I don't know why. That's why, like, if you go fire up Link Whisper and just put a list of keywords in there and it just goes out there and blasts everything across to every page, linking all over to everything, you lose rank. But if you go in there and you take your specific pages and link it to the specific pages that are relevant that you want to rank using 2 to 3 internal links from all relevant pages to the page you want to rank, the page that you want to rank goes up. Okay? And then when they're cross-linked, when you have a popular page that's receiving traffic, what tends to happen is the page that you're connected to will start getting some click-through. And when you start getting click-through, that other page, that blog page, will start getting rank. And when it starts getting rank, it starts picking up other keywords. It starts picking up other keywords. The page that you're linking to starts doing better. Okay? So this is the process. This is what I would do. This is how I would lay it out. This is exactly what I would do and why. Okay? This is a big one. I hope that that helps you. Okay? At 42 min. All right, so I only have a little bit more time before I got to run. So hopefully that helps you out. RD answered that for you. Hey, Chris, I need help. This is from Jim. And Jim wants to know how to differentiate between tier 1 and tier 2 links. Is it the high domain authority and low spam score that makes a link tier 1 or other factors? Thank you in advance. Okay. Tier 1 should only be links that you would want to show Google and that your comp has. Okay, so it's just like kind of like you go on a date, you got a girl, like, do you want to bring this girl or woman, right, or man, whatever it is, home to see your mom or your father? It's the same thing with tier 1 links. Like, do I want to show these links to Big Daddy Google? You know what I mean? Like, hey, I got these links, I really like them. You know, it's like, Google, are these good? So would you, you know, like, that's how I look at it, kind of, in a way. So that would be my best recommendation for deciding tier 1 links. Would you bring these home to Big Daddy Google or Big Mama Google? It's up to you to decide. Usually the easiest way to determine this is, like you said, you know, first and foremost, does my competition have these links? Secondly, do they have a high referring domain count? Are they highly authoritative? Are they topically relevant? The other thing is, yeah, you could use a Moz metric and say, hey, oh, it's got a low spam score, it's high referring, it's, you know, I did gap analysis, it's connected to a lot of the other sites that are ranking. Hey, that might make a good tier 1, all right? So hopefully that helps you out. But just think of, like, Google being like your pa or your ma or whatever, like if you're a man that you're bringing, you know, think of it like that, or kind of like, never mind, you get the point. Let's keep going here. I'm bad at jokes. All right, moving on. Hey Chris, so we have another question here. Wow, you were watching the old stuff, huh? My man. Hey Chris, I'd like to ask, all these Web 2 and profile creation sites list are tier 1. Can I build the backlinks to my main domain at once, or a category page of mine? Okay. So, these sites will be good to point in to inner pages. Okay. Power up inner pages, not home page. Your brand should rank over time. Rank the keyword pages over brand pages. Okay. You will build DR authority, I'll say, over time. Like, what I'm getting at here, Jim, is, okay, I build a house, I have a foundation homepage, all right? But, like, everything else is secondary. They're considered secondary pages. They're already farther back in the structure. Like, the homepage is going to auto rank for the keyword, like your brand name. Like, if I'm going to allocate time, the most important asset to anybody, right, and resource, time resource is the most essential thing, right? If I'm going to allocate that, then allocate it to the pages that are going to need the biggest push. Now, if you only have a one-page site, then okay. But for 99.9% of us, we have our brand homepage, and then we have our essential internal pages that we're trying to rank. This is where I would divert my attention if I'm going to do any type of link building, all right? But if you're going to pay money, focus on scaling the content before you scale the links, all right? It's my best advice to you, my friend. Invest in content and push it out fast and have patience, okay? Like, push out your 100, 200 articles as fast as you possibly can, and then start, and then if you want to hurry it up a little bit, then maybe build a few links in every month. But crank out the content and have patience. You will succeed. How do follow links from social bookmarking sites still count? Heard somewhere that Google sees a do follow link from a bookmarking site, it doesn't count or give value. Well, this can be, okay? Uh, focus on links your comp has. Okay, so focus on the authority links that your competition has, Jim. Don't focus on, bookmarks and all this other stuff like that. That comes later. Focus on the most authoritative, most powerful links that your competition has first, and then as that extra fuel, if you really want to do it, if you can do it cheaply and quickly, then maybe build out those other links or use them as a tier, okay? If you did build that Great Hills page, what kind of content would you put on it? I don't know. Multiple location SEO. Well, depending on the service. Okay. So let's say it was Great Hills Dentist. Okay. No matter what the keyword is, you still need to assess the SERP, meaning take a look at the SERP and see, well, what is Google rewarding? So how would I format or create the page that I want to utilize in order to rank? It's going to be based upon what type of page is Google currently rewarding. Is Google rewarding a location service page? And then what elements are on that page? Do they have a map? Do they have directions? Do they have schema? Do they have OG schema? Like what do they have? Now, if I get a consensus that the page, if a majority of the assets that are on the page are location information pages, then that's what I'm going to create. If all of the pages are going to be straight info content or just service page, then that's what I'm going to create, okay? Now, what you're going to see 100% of the time is you're going to see outliers. Now, this is a question that I often get, Jim. I think it was Jim. Phil. Sorry, Phil. So, Phil, what I'll see is there's always going to be one or two outliers in a SERP. This is called QDD, or Query Deserves Diversity. Do not measure these, right? So say you're looking at a local SERP and Yelp's sitting in there. Or say you're looking at a local SERP and expertise.com is sitting in there. These are your authority sites. Like, this is not to be measured. Look at sites that are just like yours and then come up with the average. Hey, if the majority of people have info, use info. If the majority of the people have 200 backlinks, get 200 backlinks, right? So I would follow this strategy always. Look at the SERP of the keyword and do only what Google rewards. Okay, so that's the short and the sweet of it. George says, hey mate, hello mate to you. Is there any chance we can do a Zoom call about a few questions I have about your work and this video in particular, multiple locations, or whatever way is easiest? Sure. Book a time on Calendly. Sure, dude. Oh my gosh. Sure, by all means, go for it, dude. Book a time. I'm slowing down the calendar. I have a lot of projects now, so I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that. I have a few pretty big projects right now that I'm working on. I try to keep it open because I think it can be helpful to some people. So that's what I try to do. So Spotlight says, I'm going to try to bang out as many of these as I can. Chris, another outstanding video. I tried OpenAI and the content was amazing. However, Hugging Face everything I checked at 98% AI written or above. Is there something I am missing in DaVinci Mode? So yes, if you use AI content without editing any tokens, it will come back as AI content because it is. With that said, make your SEO edits for best results, or use a paraphraser with the content. So double AI works well. Double AI as in you use GPT-3 in order to crank out the content, and then you run it through a paraphraser. So you get your 200 to 300 word blocks of content, you run it through a paraphraser, and then you start blocking out your ideas that way. takes a lot of time. It's been marginalized and pushed against so much that it's almost becoming cheaper and easier just to pay the $3 or $4 100 words. You know what I mean? Like, find somebody that knows about your topic, give them their $4 100 words or $5 100 words, and call it a day. You know, I like AI, but as time is progressing, as fast as we're able to crank out the content, they're able to understand the syntactic. Like, Google's really good at syntactic analysis. They're able to understand that a human being in line 4, if they say this word, that's not going to be used on line this particular phrase should not be used at line 17 unless it's been written with AI. You can go and read about BERT, and you can go read about all of these updates that they're doing. Like that last one that just hit in September, whacked them. We got cracked. Like, they're able to understand the entire page instead of just the top and bottom tokens now, right? I think for initial analysis and indexation, they're taking into account the first 480 tokens and then the last 480 tokens. But they're able to take everything into account. I don't know. I'm not an AI specialist. The only thing I know is what I read. Okay, so you can go and see for yourself. But that's what I would focus on, my friend. Get your content. It needs to be reworked. You can't just copy and paste any AI. No matter if you're using the best, there still needs to be a level of human interaction. Like, you can't just copy and paste. I wish you could. Because I would. But nah, it just doesn't work. So I filled out the reinstatement form 8 days ago. I haven't heard out. Should I try again? Do this process as owner and rep. Get a line. And I can only speak generally. Like, I don't know why they suspended you. You know what I mean? Like, there could be a legitimate reason, but usually you can get them back. Usually. It's 50-50. 50-50. All right. I got a few more moments here. All right, Eric Hartman. Wow, all the way from South Park. So Eric says, so no, I do not, my friend. My VA likes Surfer a lot. Just the editor for, junk blogs. So one of my assistants uses Surfer for like junk blogs. So say you have a chiropractor, and the chiropractor, you just got them on, you're going to crank out say 50-60 articles for them a month. Get that ball rolling. Like, you're just looking to hit, you're trying to hit the topical cluster, right? So we have a primary keyword that we're trying to win, say it's sclerosis or whatever. We're going to build out the 20-30 articles per service that they do and just start cranking them out to build out that authority of the site. That's what they like to use that for. But on actual pieces that we want to rank, we primarily, like, I know the math. But usually, like, for a VA, I give them POP. So it's up to you. I think all of the tools have merit. But in my opinion, I think that POP, if I do the math myself and then I look at Page Optimizer does the math as close to what I would do. And I'm able to use my math to go and rank pages with zeros. You know what I mean? Like, with nothing. So, like, once you get the counts, like, I could go and rank like nothing pages. So they still need to be on an authoritative website. Like, I can't go rank for say Crypto Casino without an authoritative blog or website. But if it fits within the traffic authority range of the keyword, so like that's how I determine the true authority of a website, and that's how I determine the true authority of ranking for a keyword, is based upon the traffic that keyword receives, right? So if my website is within the traffic range of 500 to 1100 visitors, right? All the keywords that I rank for are within that range, and I try to rank for a keyword that's getting 3000 to 4500, the probability of me ranking that keyword is about 0. But if I pick a keyword that's within the range of what the website's currently ranking for, it'll work. Okay? So there you go. Hey, Chris, we got another question from Vlad. So Eric, hopefully that helps you out. Vlad had this question. Hi there, Chris. At 627, do you mean pointing a link from the page to the subdomain or the 301 page to the subdomain? Vlad. So this particular strategy here, do you mean put 301 page? 301 to the subdomain. A subdomain is just a feeder. So, yes. Like, I have a few friends that compete for highly competitive key terms. And this is, I gave a piece of a strategy. I almost messed up a relationship for giving that away too. But the video did very well. And I still left out a couple things. So I gave the general idea, okay? And the general idea is creating a subdomain that is actually an expired domain and then pointing other or more expired domains to that domain. But that domain is actually a JavaScript redirect. So that's kind of fun, in a way. And that, I just gave an overview. That's all. But there's a little bit more to it. But that's pretty much the general idea. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. But to answer your question, it's 301s to the subdomain. But note that 301, that initial subdomain is actually, that should usually start as an auction domain or something very powerful or something from a previous network. So it has 10 to 20 to 30,000 referring domains already, and then you're just stacking it as fast as you possibly can, right? Almost in order. So if you've ever gone to a website, you look at the subdomains, and the subdomain, they have 20 or 30 just IPs as subdomains. This is called pooling. Moving on. Next. All right, so Zane UI. Many thanks, Chris. My client is Carpet Cleaner and his service in San Manatee County. I'm confused which city should I mention in creating citations for his local business, as he serves multiple cities in San Mateo. I'd appreciate your answer. Okay, well, so each area he services has a page. Each page is focused around servicing that area. Okay? So you build... Oh, wait, why am I typing? Build citations to each individual subset page. Please note, Google ranks individual pages. They also will rank individual Google business profiles. So if I have a individual Google business profile and a individual page, you want to build those individual citations around those individual locations and pages on your website, period. It cut it all out. Sorry, brother, I can't say that again. Each page is focused around servicing that area. So you build citations to each individual subset page. That's pretty much the answer. So the answer here, Zane, to wrap that up, is if I have a website, okay, and on that website, I want to name out all of the other sub-locations that I service in, right? So I might have a flagship location, and I might even have other Google business profiles, right? And if you don't, but I still want to service them, that's fine too, because I'll create individual pages. You can drop pins in those areas so you can correspond to Google. Hey, I have a business here. I take customers here. I help customers here. You build those pages out. You link all of the assets back to that internal page. And then when I build out citations, I build them to that inner page. So that's the best answer that I can give you, my friend. That is the answer. Hopefully that helps you out. Chesco, hey Chris. Thanks for the video. But what do you mean by running traffic at 423 to the website? Thank you. How long to rank in Google and get traffic? What do I mean by running traffic to the website? Well, let's go have a small look.
If you have ever wanted to.
I don't know who this dude is. At 423. Let's see the context. The context of the video. I don't know what I was talking about in this video specifically. Oh, running traffic to the site. Yeah, there's blips of traffic of where we are running traffic to the website. So what do I mean by that? Okay. Now where's that at? What do you mean by running traffic? Okay. So running traffic could mean paid traffic to pages or bot traffic to pages. That's what I mean by that. Like we were literally running or paying for traffic to go to individual pages that we were promoting. So yeah, like there's not really too many ways that you can signal to Google that a page is valuable. One of the ways that you can signal to Google that a page is powerful is by getting external links. But external links without traffic are a lot lower value, okay? And when I mean traffic, doesn't mean traffic to the site. It means traffic from the link over. That's why when you get a link on Forbes, it costs you a G, because the probability of me getting actual traffic could be relatively high. You know? That's why you'll get a site that has, you know, like the site might get 20,000 traffic, right? And if you want a homepage link, that's $5,000. But if you want a new post and a link, that's $100. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, the site gets traffic. And there is a chance that it could get traffic, like your link. But if you no guarantee that that link is going to get clicks and click through, that link is going to cost a lot more money, right? So that's what I'm getting at. The only way to signal, one of the ways to signal to Google that a page or a website is important is by having traffic go to that specific page or backlinks, okay? So links, traffic, internal links, and structuring is how you say, hey, Google, this page, this is the one, all right? Excuse me. Okay, I'll answer a few more. Chris, what about using zip codes instead? Some areas I want to target for local are outside a city, but zip codes show the red box on Google also. Okay. Go by what Google is saying. You might be right, but Google sets the rules. Okay, so you might be 100% right, brother, but I only go by what Google says. So if Google is saying, hey, this is the county, then that's the county. If Google is saying this is the town, this is the town. If Google says that these towns are in this county or in this zip code, then that's what it is, right? You might know better, but I would not go against the grain. I would just go with it, my friend. I know it might be stupid, but that's it. So dropping a pin is EDC. It's an unverified listing. Okay? It's just an unverified listing. That's it. Okay? Scott Allen. Chris, I love you. I watched a video. Okay, so I know this guy. Talked to him a few times. He's a nice guy. Let me see what he's talking about here. Can you please elaborate on that? Okay, so here, let's see. Scott, the only reason I'm reading this massive question is because it's from you, brother. Usually these really big ones, I just give a thumbs up and keep it pushing. But I'll answer this for you, okay? I've watched this video twice now, and I do not understand at all what you are saying about the Near Me pages. Can you please elaborate on that? Also, would it be wise to match up all the location pages with services? So, if you have, okay. Should we make house decking, house siding, Houston roofing, and then go on and create pages for Dallas decking, Dallas? Okay, so the second part of your question, if you want to rank for a specific keyword in a specific location, then you need a specific page. So to answer your question, should you make Houston decking, Houston siding, Houston roofing, Houston, and create those pages and then do Dallas decking, Dallas siding, Dallas roofing? Yes, definitely. So you'll have a top level page that might be, contractor near me or contractor of Texas. And then on your contractor Texas page, you might break that down and talk about other services that you provide, right? You can structure it any way you want. Just try to keep it flat. So to answer your question, yes, definitely. If you want to rank for Dallas siding, Dallas roofing, Dallas blank, then you need to have that page, okay? Now, the first part of the question about the Near Me pages, it's not that this is the only strategy. It's something that I've deployed numerous times and it worked exceptionally well. And I didn't come up with the idea. I took the idea from Yelp. This is how Yelp structures a lot of their stuff. That's why I started doing it, and it works. So, have you ever been on Yelp.com? If you go and you're looking for, say, you have to go and find it, but how they structure it is they'll put Near Me. So you can start looking for stuff. Here, let's see here. How about pizza shops? Do it in your own town. Do it in your own town. But how I initially got that idea and why we started implementing it is because Yelp was utilizing that strategy. So once I saw Yelp doing it, it was over. I then had was he a lawyer? I think it was a lawyer that was doing land something. And he had one of those little mini directories. So that was cool. All right, so I think we're about to go out. So I'm going to have to wrap this up. So I got to wrap this up. So to answer your question, let me go into this a little bit more. Real quick here. This will be the last question that I can answer. I have to run. Okay. So if you have your website, okay, so you have your website.com, okay. What I mean by Near Me is you have a Near Me page, okay? But you probably are going to have a service, so it's probably going to be contractor. Okay, so contractor Near Me. On the contractor page, so if you have a contractor page, on that contractor page, you probably do, I don't know, like you said, siding, right? So you do siding, you do roofing, you do windows, we'll say. I don't know what you do, right? But let's just say that it's this. All right, so you do siding, you do roofing, you do this. So you have website.com, and remember, this is your website, / contractor Near Me. This is the contractor page. Listed on the contractor page, siding, roofing, windows, right? So you're going to list out your services, okay? Google ranks pages, not sites. So you have a contractor Near Me that lists all your services, and you're even going to talk about you being a contractor that does all of these services, right? But that page is going to be hyper focused on contractor Near Me. Most of the time, people are going to put either services here or locations, but let everyone else do that. Put primary keyword plus near me. You can do this. This is just one strategy, my friend, one strategy. You could put contractor near me. You could list your services here, okay? And then when I click on this, okay, you can start laying out your stuff. So it could be your website.com / what did you say, Houston? Okay. You can either, if you're only doing one location, you can make it go right to the location plus service page, location-based service page, but it's still flat. Now, if you're doing 20 or 30 different cities, if I click on siding, you could also have it go to or if you want to do it more clever, you can. That's up to you. Say you go to the siding page, right? On your siding page, you could list out right? You could have your siding Houston. You could have your Dallas page. So to break this down to make it easy, a customer, right? Because remember, if somebody's searching for siding in Houston, right? They're not going to type siding Houston. They're going to write siding, and they're standing in Houston on their phone or on their computer. And what's going to rank is your siding Houston page. Okay? So to make it a lot easier for you, you'll have your website.com. On website.com, you have your contractor services. Or, yeah, contractor services is probably a big keyword. That could be a good one. Or contractor near me. On the contractor near me page, because contractor near me probably has huge volume. But on that contractor near me page, you list out siding, you do roofing, and you do windows. They're like, oh, I want siding. They click on the siding page. On the siding page, where do we service? Where do you service? Well, we do siding in Houston. We do siding in Dallas. We do siding in wherever. But when they click on one of these pages, what they're going to go to is going to be this. It's going to still be flat, okay? So if they click on this, it's still going to bring them to this page, okay? It's always going to be the same. How can I help you? Don't talk yet. Give me 1 second. And I want to talk to Kelly too, so when you can get the phone, but bring it in here to me, please, okay? I guess little Chris isn't feeling good. He went to a birthday party just before his buddy Killian and Colson, they're brothers, and that's little Chris's buddies. So he wasn't feeling a little bit good, but he still wanted to go to the party, so he went to the party, and I guess they're laying down. So, but today is the Heritage Festival here in the... You know, it's interesting. It's interesting. So I like to do some people watching. I'll go out and, but if you walk all the way up the road, there's a food truck. Yes. Here's my keys. Just use this Beamer one. Sure. Is little Chris laying down? Yeah, I think he's sleeping. Wow. Sleeping in the middle of the day. Kids these days. Okay, so I guess I can enunciate this a little more. Okay, but I think I brought this home, actually, now that I think about it. Like, this is one way to do it. I'm not saying that this is the only way or the best way. This is a great way to do it, and this way works very well. But I've seen winners do things that is not SEO rich, right? Like, well, they'll lay out locations and services, and the site will be a mile. Like, the structure will be disgusting. Like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And it'll still work. However, what you'll notice is sites that are a lot better structured, sites that are a lot cleaner. Not only do they generally get more keywords to index, right? But over time, they'll start outranking these other sites. This is why when you go into a high competition market for local, what you'll notice is exact match winners will be right in there. Like, they only have a one-page website that's surrounding a specific keyword. That's why they do so well, right? Because it's structured around one topic or one idea. What's up, dude?
Couldn't get the Wi-Fi to work. Your phone.
What, it doesn't work?
No, it would. Couldn't get the Wi-Fi to turn on. Sorry.
This is my daughter.
Please cut that out.
It's live.
Oh.
There's no cutting it out. It's on.
Thank you.
Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah, your daughter with pink hair.
Yeah, that's okay. No cussing.
It's not.
I know. All right.
Sweating now, Dad.
Haha. I'll go out and go for a walk.
Okay. Well, because I want to see if Evan is. What's your password thingy for Apple ID?
It's all zeros. Oh, for Apple ID?
Yeah. Don't say that.
I'm not going to say it out loud.
I wanted to go with Bubby Bear.
Yeah, I wanted to go with Bubby too.
But if it's just me, you, and if Evan will come, then that would be cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I asked Kelly if I can hang out with him tomorrow, but
Here.
so,
And little Chris is laying down?
yeah.
All right, I'm trying to get through some of these comments, so excuse me.
I'll just be. Can I sit here?
Yeah, I don't care if you sit there. Is the front door unlocked?
No, it's locked.
How did you get down? The back door?
No, I grabbed the keys. It's as locked as
Here,
I
give me
can
one
get.
second. I'll be right back, guys.
As locked as I could get it. Thank you, Dad. All right. Yeah, okay. No, I said okay.
All right.
Texted me back.
That's fine. All right, let's see if there's any questions here. So I'm going to go ahead and go through your questions here now. And see if there's anything. Please, if you think of it, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you thought of the video, so I know if you guys like this stuff or not, like me going through the questions. If you want me to do it, just give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down, just so I know when I go back and I can see. But the gents and the ladies and gentlemen that are here now, let me know. All right, so Nick Batra, thank you for this. Hey, Chris, how you doing? I'm doing great. Came back from London, had some stuff I had to catch up on. I still have other work, but I know I need to. Dude, if you don't make videos, dude, my videos I'll never get any more views. So I came back and I'm already getting half that I was getting before. So I knew I had to come back and make some videos, right? So Electronica, hey Chris, how are you? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Makaya says, hey Chris, please tell me if a business has one location, but I want to create pages near that area as well. What will their titles? Well, I wouldn't use the word near, because you have to remember, people are not searching for the actual location. Like, those searches that you're seeing are like people like us doing all those searches every day. But like, if you're a normal human being, like, think about it. Unless you're traveling somewhere, if you live in a particular area and you're looking for pizza, what do you type in? Pizza near me, or you type pizza, right? And Google gives you services. Whatever you're looking for, you just type it in, or you type near me, or where is, or where's the nearest, right? Like, this goes with almost every market. So on the pages, though, you want to make them hyper-specific around a particular area. But if you're going to do the near me pages, or if you're thinking about creating a bunch of them, I don't think I would do that. If you want to have a top level page with near me in it, great. And then you want to build out your Houston and your Dallas and your other pages, then that's a good way to go. But laying it out like this service, near location, I wouldn't do that. Just do primary keyword plus location. Primary keyword plus location. And if that doesn't seem like it makes sense, go look at the top 10 performers that are winning, that are non-authority, sites like yours. Go and see what they're doing. Look at their structure. Look at their website. Like what are they doing? I guarantee that it's just keyword plus location. Like the URL needs to be clean and how people are searching. Okay? So hopefully that helps you out. Brandon says, what do you think about paying Yext for SEO? Me personally, I wouldn't do it. I don't think that, I wouldn't do it. So that's my opinion. But if that's what you want to do, that's completely up to you, my friend. Quessa Essel, what's the fastest way to rank on Google? Step 1, 2, 3. So I think speed to ranking is relative to the keywords that you're targeting. Okay? So if I want to rank for the word SEO, it's going to take probably a year or two. But if you want to rank for how to rank on keyword being a digital photographer in 2022, that could probably take a week. Okay? So, step number 1 is create the content. Step number 2, create secondary content and internally link to that content. And step number 3 is build links, but you need one more step, and that's step number 4 is going to be patience. So this is key to SEO. This is a long game, super long game. All right. Biken says, please talk about off-page SEO backlinking. That's so broad, brother, but I might be able to talk about that a little bit. Tips and tricks of how to get GMB clients. How I've been getting all of my clients currently is referrals. Referral. Like even doing this, like a lot of people might come, okay? But they're not the client. Like there's a difference between getting a lot of $200 and $300 clients and then getting the clients that are going to be long-term that can actually afford the marketing. There's a million people out there that'll take that $200, $300, $400, but what could you actually produce? You know, so I've been using referrals. So once you get those clients, your client or customer avatar that you're looking for, so it's in the right niche, they have a budget that will actually produce results, right? Not just throw up a website and call it a day, right? Like, but it costs a fair amount of dollars each month in order to successfully perform quality SEO, because you got to pay for all the time and the links. Like there's a lot. Content is there's so much. So what I'm getting at is once you actually find a client that fits your customer avatar, what you're looking for then is going to be other referrals. So other referrals from and with and through that person that you're working with. So you can either give them extra services, you can give them discounts. You should build a massive rapport with somebody because you're in their business working, right? So that's how I do it. It works for me, but you know, if I had no other previously before I was able to build up a nice pipeline of clients, I was on Fiverr, I was on Upwork, and I was on Black Hat World running stuff like nobody's business. So that's how I used to do it. You got to go where the traffic is then. Okay. But also too, like I would go back to all of the platforms that have traffic. So there's a million of them now. Like there's not just Fiverr and Upwork anymore. It wasn't even called Upwork. It was called, man, when I was on there, it wasn't called Upwork. It was something completely different. So, that's when I was on there. And then I also used to sell stuff on, Wicked Fire. I used to use. I know this stuff sold. What? No. Just do your reading. Just do what you're supposed to do on there. Just look at other stuff. How to get AdSense approval. I don't do too much AdSense, but however, once we actually had our sites up and they were doing pretty well, then we would go get approval. But I'm in the United States. The sites were clean. I wasn't trying to do anything shady. It was a very seamless and easy process. AdSense is easy. It's almost like a slam dunk most of the time. So if you search AdSense, dude, there's a million of them. All right, so this is strange. All right, so there you go. That's how you do that. Fashion, okay, hey Chris, quick one. Did you ever try using Topical Map and Semantic SEO for a website? Semantic SEO for a topical map. So topical mapping, yes. 2, which tool for creating a topical map did you use, if any? When we were trying or utilizing, I had a client that was massively sold on Keyword Cupid. So when we were doing topical mapping, what we utilized was Keyword Cupid. Okay, like he wanted it to follow that strategy to a T, and that's what we utilized, and that's what we created content around. But generally, that's not going to be the strategy that I deploy. But if that's something that you want to do, it's up to you, my friend. I think for most local stuff, it's almost, I mean, do I really need 400 pages? I don't know. Maybe. Joel Smith says, Chris, I love your stuff. A while back, you were talking about a technique of using ads and press releases, increase ranking in Google Business Profile. Can you tell me where I can find that video? I mean, it's got to... Most of the titles of the videos are going to be centralized around a specific type of keyword. So if it was Google My Business, then it's going to be titled Google Maps or Google My Business. So, and something to do with traffic. Like, I'm not going to title it something that nobody's looking for. So for me to say, Google ad strategy, like Black Hat Google ad strategy, like that's probably not what I titled it. But Google ads, you used to be able to send stuff directly into a share link. Last time we just went in there, like 4 days ago, it said it was giving us quite a bit of a hassle. So you might want to start looking at, say, Facebook. Facebook is very, very good. Hello from the Philippines. Hello to you. Avio, how to get AdSense approval. We talked about that already. It's so easy, dude. How to do it? Like, you create your website, take the code, put it on your website, and then go sign up. It's not a difficult process, my friend, by any stretch of the imagination. And there are a million tutorials on how to do it, I assure you. Also, we're relaunching the SEO Mastermind here pretty soon at SEOmastermind.org. I've already, I uploaded pretty much, I don't know, probably 80% of the stuff. So when I first do a run, I'll send everybody an email. And I'll just do like a big giveaway, like a free training of some sort. But that is just about there. So there's the brain and SEOmastermind.org. Got about 80% done. So I did it on a train ride, but then the internet started messing up, so it was a little tough. Is Shopify hard to optimize? Yes. Yes, it is. It is very difficult to optimize. Yes. However, you can still have some play there. It's just the structuring that's really bad. But there's plenty of Shopify sites that are performing for high competition terms, and they make it work. So it's going to start with a custom theme through Shopify, so you'll have the ability to do a lot of changes. So when you're choosing your custom themes, on the left-hand side inside of Shopify, you can check the boxes. Does it have this feature? Does it have this feature? Check all the boxes. And then whatever you're left with, that's going to be your best opportunity to have the most advanced theme that they have. You're going to probably pay through the nose for it, but I think that'll be the best. That way you can make edits to the top and to the bottom, and then you can put like custom boxes in there, and you could add headers. You know, so that way you can make all of the rest of the products P tags, and then you can actually start laying out a proper page. Okay, so it might not be in order, but at least you'll actually have a chance at fighting it. If you take a look at top performing Shopify stores, that's what you'll notice a lot, okay? So best wishes to you on that. So I'll see if we can bang out another couple. So Hummingbird Technical asks, hey Chris, if I want to put schema for a service area business and providing services like plumbing and cleaning services, because in services area business, we don't have a particular location. We only offer services to customers at their site. Please help me with this. I want to list services in the schema and my service areas where we are providing services. Okay. So, okay, this is easy. Well, it's not easy. Well, it's easy for me to answer, okay? Because you can put in, there is schema to list service area with Launch and Lads, okay? Use the service type and location area to state where you service for the pages. Okay? But I will say this. If that's what you're thinking about doing, great, go for it. Only name up the things that are on the page. Utilize the Launch and Lad, and you can also put in service area. There's a magnitude of I want to say it's circumference for some reason, but I don't think that's true. But you can name out the service area provided. You can give launches and latitudes, and you could say, okay, we service from here to here. You can make that polygon or that map. I just don't think that at this time, okay, at, 10/9 of 2022, do I think that it's like, is that going to be the most efficient, cost-effective, time-effective way of getting a edge over a competitor? I don't know if schema is the ticket, my friend. I think you're going to spend a lot of time and effort doing that, but not be rewarded like you would as, say, double backing on content optimization, building out supporting pieces of content, building in some authoritative external links in. I think for cost and time versus reward, I would go with the latter. I would go with links and content over schema. As of today. Like if you came to me and said, hey, I have a grant, right? I can either create custom schema across this entire website, or I could create more supporting content. I could building some links. What would you do? At this present moment, I think that's what I would do. All right. So, hey Chris, can you add links to my site? If you're in my group and ask, sure. If you're in the group and you want me to build links to your site, I will. That's fine. Thanks for the explanation. So if we did this way for multiple locations, what would be the Google business URL for Austin, Texas? Because you don't have a location page. You have location plus keyword as URLs. So confused on what would be the Google business profile URL for Austin, Texas at that point, assuming we wanted to build out a page for Houston, Texas eventually as well. Hope this makes sense. So we did this way for multiple locations. What would be the Google business URL for Austin? Because we don't have a location page. Location plus keyword as URL. So confused. So I'm not sure what you're asking me here. I'm not sure what you're asking me here, dude. If you want to target that area, you want to start with having that Google business profile verified in that area. If you can't do that, then unverified, at least tie it to something. Create your citations, build out your internal page. Not every business owner is going to want to do that, though. So you might have to do that on the backside, like without them knowing, in order to get them the boost. I don't think that's what you're asking me though. I'm not really clear. Clarify this question. Yeah, clarify the question. I'm not sure what you're asking me, brother. I'm sorry. Henrich says, Chris, what's your opinion for the new update? A month ago. I think that they've improved syntactic analysis. That's what it is. Can I get AdSense approval if I use spun content on my site? Sometimes. Yes. Sure. Of course you can. Does this still work also? Can I copy the link of the backlink in the mobile-friendly tester? Does this still work? It's been a while since I utilized this strategy. It might. Been a while since I used this strat. So what kind of content should be on the Great Hills page? You asked me this one twice. You asked me this question twice. I'm not sure. Same content that is ranking currently in the SERP. So again, I don't, you know, I don't think, don't overthink it. If I'm seeing that Google's rewarding 1,200 word blog articles that are informational based, and on that blog article there's a video embedded, then I'm going to build a 1,200 word informational based piece of content with a video embedded. You know what I mean? Like, I don't overthink. Like, okay, this is working. All right, and then I'll go and get 2 or 3 more examples in the same SERP. All right, these sites follow a formula. This is the formula that I'm going to utilize. That's it. Like, I'm not like trying to be clever. Like, I just do what's working. That's it. You know? Like, I know, like, I watch Gotcha's stuff, and like, Gotcha's able to he's able to be clever and go against the SERP and get it to work based upon authority, right? But for 99.9% of us that are out here trying to catch traffic, you have to do what's currently working at a slightly higher density, with slightly better links, with slightly more updates. Like, it just needs to be a little bit better than what's there. You can go against the grain, but I personally have always fallen short by doing that. I've tried to be clever, and it never works out for me. So it's up to you, my friend. For blog posts, no. For product or service copier, do you use AI content? Okay, thank you. So this guy says no. Useful tips. The 2 WordPress plugins you mentioned for implementing schema, do they add the schema code to the head or the body? You can choose. You can actually choose that. Chris, can I add article schema in the head of themes? May I know why did you add it for schema in body but not in the head? Last, where are the resource files in description? Okay. Schema markup, step-by-step tutorial. Okay. So 1, why did I add it to the head? Body, not head, for rendering and loading purposes. 2, that's at seomastermind.org. I just loaded, I have all the free stuff that I used to have. I added, and I have more I found, so I got a boatload of stuff. So that's where you find that resource. I put it in the body and not the head because Google, they load the head first. So I don't want to just bog up the head with a bunch of details. That's why I do it. And then, can I add article scheme in the head of a theme? And 3, yes. Yes, you could add to head of theme. You could. It's up to you. I just don't. Hey, Chris, can you please provide an index that you think is good? Provide an index that I think is good. Oh, an indexer that I think is good. Try Omega. Chris, question for SEO $20 citations. How do you handle the citations that have already been created? For me, like Monta and House. How do you log on to the correct NAP for me if it doesn't have credentials? We don't. We don't. We build new citations. We don't log. If you have citations that are out there that no longer exist, it's a new address or a new phone number, like Google isn't dumb. Google rewards freshness. So if you had 40 or 20 or 30 or 50 citations out there with a different address and a different phone number, and then you come back and you create 100 new ones, Google's going to reward freshness every time. Also, too, these sites, when they get, like, after a year, I think, I'm not sure, all sites are different, but they usually purge the old directory listings. Okay, so it is what it is, you know, so I wouldn't be overly concerned with that stuff. I wouldn't be. So that's up to you. Hey Chris, I have a brand new website and I want to buy one of these service branded foundation authority links. I want to know, after I publish a blog post on WordPress, will I have to post manually on these branded foundation links, or will it be automated and published to branded foundation authority links? Okay. If you set up a syndicator to those blogs, then it will post. Okay, so it's yeah, you have to set, like, if you get Foundation Web 2.0 links from me, and I go out there and I have my VA create you 50 authority links, and I give you the login and password. If you want to then go back in there and create a syndication, so when you create a blog article here, it syndicates out, by all means. That's not the service that I'm offering. Is I'm building you 50 sites that have login and password that are manually created. I have one of the girls on my team, women actually, one of the ladies, go in there, create them, give you the details. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm just giving you that first foundation. I'm not sure what you said here, but so usually I just say thank you. Unfortunately, I have no idea what you mentioned there. Hey Chris, I have a question. My site was #1 and after the last update, 9 to 10. What should I do to rank again? See who is beating you and why. Look at things that do not make sense, like embeds, forms, bullets, unstructured lists. I was gonna say bullet points. Unstructured lists, etc. Like, look at the actual page and the non-SEO elements. That's my best advice to you, my friend. Can this tool be used to rewrite content? I tried, it seems on keep repeating the same content by rephrasing. Any suggestion? Use a paraphraser, not AI. Not a AI model. AI is great for generation, not spinning. Okay? It's not a spin tool, it's not a paraphraser, it's making a unique piece of content. Well, a semi-unique. All AI is not actual AI. It's only off of the data that it's been trained on. So, that's that. Can I buy expired domains and then redirect them to my site? You can, but not recommended. You could do that, but I don't recommend buying them and 301ing them. Hey Chris, I heard that it's black hat to buy an expired domain and then redirect it to yours to gain backlinks, and you will be penalized. Is this true? No. It's very common to buy brands and redirect to the new site. This cannot be the main strat, but this cannot be the main strat, and penalty won't be, why am I typing? Because of the 301s, but the links, maybe. Okay. Alright, there's a lot more. I think I'll start doing this now. When buying domains, you forward and benefit from the juice. How do you hold the domain and keep the redirect in place? You keep the registry open and paid for. Yeah, if you're doing a 301 redirect and you want to keep it live, then you just have to pay for the registration. You have to pay for that domain each year. So if you know you just want to keep that 301 up, just pay for it. But really, after 6 months, all the links have been usually pushed over to you by now. So I wouldn't be too concerned. But it looks like we're starting to fall. So what is the future of blogging and SEO? What is the future? Well, I don't see any foreseeable differences for the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, do I think that people are still going to be looking for relevant information? I do. Do I think that things are going to get more niched down and more specific? I do. So I think that's where it's going. I think it's just going to keep getting refined. But other than that, I don't see any foreseeable change in the next 5 to 10 years. But that's that. How can I learn SEO from zero to hero? I think you're already starting to do it. One of the best things that helps me is go and get a test site, learn something, create a page, and implement, and then watch what happens. So just get a site, get your feet wet, get in there and start doing stuff. That's the best way to learn. Shanette, hey Chris, can you tell me how to bring website from second page to first page for a particular keyword? Thanks in advance. Okay. So if it's on page 2, I would still do one last tweak on the on page. You're probably missing some variations, some matches. Your density might be slightly off. Take a look at the heading counts, how many headings are optimized, and then take a look at the density. The next thing I would look at, because you're on page 2, is how many internal links are pointing to that page, right? So go over there to Screaming Frog, do a link graph analysis, take a look at how many pages are actually pointing to that page, and if you can, increase the amount of internal links pointing to that page. The next thing that I would do is go and see the top performing website, how many A tags are on the top sites compared to your site, and increase the amount of A tags. So that's the amount of anchor texts that are on the page. And then I think last but not least is by building 1 or 2 links that your competitors have in common. Now, they don't have to be links all pointing to the page you're trying to rank, right? So if you're looking at your competitors, top 10 competitors, and I'm looking at all the backlinks, right? It's not the pages, it's not the links pointing to the page that you're competing with, but the links that are pointing to that site. What links do all of these sites have in common, right? 1 or 2 of those links pointing to the page you're trying to rank, massively impactful. Okay. And then honestly, is the money? Hello, sir. Video resolution, I don't know. Hello, sir. Please, we want your SEO service, but don't have PayPal in our country. Just add master debit card option to buy your services. It will grow your business too. I take crypto. You have crypto. I'm also gonna add because the crypto payments are kind of a butt. a pain in the behind doing it, you could send crypto. But to make it automated, what we're gonna add is, I'm gonna add another feature on there. So hopefully that helps you out, potentially. But you can use pretty much any credit card on PayPal. I take credit cards, all credit cards, any credit card or crypto. I take it all. Like I think what credit cards can I use with PayPal? Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. Almost all of them. All right. So hopefully that helps you out, brother. But also crypto. Usually for people that are foreign, I usually do crypto for them. But you got to get in contact with me. All right. So I'm going to log off. We're going to the Heritage Festival. So it's been an absolute pleasure. Again, the SEO Mastermind.org will be relaunching this week. So hopefully you'll be interested in that. There'll be new trainings there. Also, some new services are launching this week. So services.chrispalmermarketing.com. Okay. So SEOmastermind.org or services.chrispalmermarketing.com. We're back at it, but please note, I've taken the liberty of breaking it down into categories. So in case you haven't been here before, I have it broken down. We're going to add one more that's local to break it down even more, but links, take a look at this. We have high authority DR20 to DR80s, like these right here. Just take a look at this. So say you were to purchase a DR70 to 80, they're only $45. Okay. We have guest posts, regular links, okay, EDU links, very inexpensive, branded authority links. A few people asked about that. On top of that, if you come over to here, this is a la carte. What's up, dude?
It's time to leave.
Oh, we get to leave now. Cool. So check everything out. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time. I think SEOmastermind.org. It should be down right now. Let's go take a look. Oh, it should be down. Okay. So that's going to be swapping hands here any day. So any day now. So we'll have a new launch. That'll be really fun. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. And good day. Bye-bye. Are those backlinks good for affiliate sites? If they're within your category and they have the authority score that you're looking for, they're guest posts. So they could be if they meet your criteria. So have a great day. There's a list on that site. Don't forget this. You go right here. See this? Click here to pick a site. You get to pick the site and you get to post the content. So here, pick your site. Here's the monthly visitors. Here's the DA. Here's TrustFlow. And here's DR. And here's what the site's about. Okay? Go down the list. This is what I have access to. I have a lot more, but this is what I have inventory on each of these sites. Once I sell out the inventory, we'll add new sites. Okay? So check it out. It's up to you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.